I don't understand how people are getting shamed for being the one that stayed to take care of the kid. Like, why am I getting the brunt of your, message? Why aren't you messaging other people about this?
I know that society gets off from shaming women, which is why I always say just live your life. Because if you decided not to raise your kids, you would still be shamed.
1,000%.
You know what I mean?
Like, meanwhile, the other, like the dad, if they were raising the kids, they'd be like, what a great dad. You're an amazing person. Like, can't believe you, look at this dad. Wait, we're doing the same thing though.
Exactly. Welcome to For Mannerless Women. I'm your host, Adelle Onyango, and this is a space that is committed to nurturing a new generation of shame-free women. In this episode, we're hanging out with Mama Olive, and she's going to talk about motherhood, about the shame and judgment that comes with single motherhood, and the importance of community.
All the mannerless or almost mannerless women.
Finally, we have you on the show.
I'm so happy to be here.
I feel like we've stalked you for all of the previous seasons, just like, we want her.
If you had reached out sooner, I would have been here sooner,
Definitely want her. So thank you for making time.
No, of course.
I just love how passionate you are about all things motherhood and how you show the realities, both in their good and their hectic. So that I have to give that to you, because a lot of times that wasn't the case when we would talk about motherhood when we were younger. It was just shown to be, you just get kids and then
you're happy. Like, what a great time. Yeah.
So take me to the point where you always wanted to be a mom first?
Always. I have literally always wanted to be a mom. I don't know how that started, but I knew I was going to have 4 kids. I was going to have a boy called Hephaestion. I was then going to have twins. It was either going to be like Alexander and Alexandra, or like Violet and, something like silly like that. Yeah. And then my 4th was, and the twins were a boy and a girl. Yeah. And then I was going to have an adopted. I knew. But And my 4th was going to be a son adopted from Mongolia.
Okay.
Never been there, know nothing about it, but that was my
your plan.
That was my plan,
and things didn't go.
3 girls in, no boys, no adoptions. So,
but were you at any point? What did you know about motherhood that you felt was enticing you, or that you were like, I feel really drawn to this?
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I knew nothing about motherhood. To be fair, I knew nothing about what it took to be a mom, but I just loved kids. Yeah. I love taking care of kids. I love being around kids. I was a kid myself. I don't know why I was saying kids. Like, I really enjoyed that. And I think I looked at people with kids and thought, oh, that's beautiful. I don't know. It just something that always called me. But knowing about motherhood, like what it actually takes to be a mom, nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. I was just informed, like, as soon as they gave me Olive in the hospital, that's when I was like, oh, wait, this is actually quite serious. This is not what I expected,
Oh my God, my sister had her daughter. I was like, they don't keep the child. That's what I mean.
That's what I mean. I was like, wait, I take this home, and then what do I do? Like, how are we taking her home? Yeah. And then you trust me to just look after this child?
Oh my days.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's hectic.
How do you remember things that you were anxious about when you took Olive home?
Literally everything. I think I had my doctor on speed. She must have been so sick of me, because I'd be like, oh my God, she was breathing like this 5 minutes ago, and now she's breathing like this. Is this a problem? Yeah. And she's just breathing. And I was just like, and I'd be listening to her, like, they fall asleep and their chest doesn't move. So she's falling asleep, and I'm like, oh, okay, are you breathing? Like, I'd be like tapping her like this, wake up. Everything was a source of anxiety for me. Literally. And then like their belly button, like their umbilical cord falls off. Yeah. That is sickening. That's like, no one told me that. It's completely sickening. And it's like they're just like getting wrinkly and like yellow, and then like falls off. And you're like, what do you do? So many things.
But I think there's a lot. So no one prepares you. Because even for them, it's like, oh, how do I remember all of these things? Right?
Honestly, I think for nurses as well. Because even to me at the time, I was like, but why aren't you being a little bit more caring? Is that the word? A little bit more, like, why aren't you spending a little bit more time with me? Tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. Because they're just like popping one out next room, popping the other one out. Like, so they're so used to it that they don't even, no one told me. Even my mom, I feel like, what? Why couldn't, like, the 9 months at least of me being pregnant, or the 10 months, like, somebody could have said anything.
A crash course.
Like a quick, Wow.
Oh,
no, that was crazy. Yeah.
And so, like, a lot of the conversations I've seen around motherhood are kind of like looking at how do you balance being yourself and as an individual and then a mom.
Right.
But I loved that you gave me such a refreshing take where you're like, no, but I accept right now motherhood is at the core of my life, and I'm grateful for that. How could you unpack that a bit?
Right. So I think, you have a kid and that like your whole time you're thinking, God, I'm not who I was. I've lost friends. I've gained 20 kgs. Like your whole life shifts, right? So already there you're having an identity crisis. And then also society tells you need to snap back. You need to get back. You should be able to live your life again. And I think because we're so lucky in Kenya that we have nannies, that it's so easy to kind of leave your kids at home and go back to the life that you're living. And I know that we have a certain amount of maternity leave. So I know that some women have to actually go back to work, right? So I know there's a lot that's pushing us away from kids. And I think it's specifically for me, it was society and also then being online. So for me, it was like, I was seeing what other moms are being able to do. I was seeing that they were able to snap back into their old life or go out with their friends, look good again. And I just felt like, oh God, am I boring? Am I that boring person online that's just constantly talking about motherhood? And I'm just at home a lot and I don't want to go out. And so I think it was more society and social media that like was trying to force me into this new person. I mean, this old tats coming back. Whereas then I started to think about it and I was like, actually, I really enjoy the fact that my life is about motherhood. I love it so much. This is a very limited time that we have. I think I was reading something the other day where they were like, when your kids are 12, you spend 75% of your life with them. Meaning, after that, they are good. They have other priorities. They have friends. They have university elsewhere. They have work. They'll have their own family. So for me to think that at 12 years old, 75% of the time that I have with Olive is gone is so scary to me, And I love them so much. So what is the problem with me wanting to just give my full attention to being a mom right now? And I don't see how, we should have, I love it. I love being a mom.
Yeah, because I think what's more important is like, how your life feels for you.
Exactly.
Like, is it comfortable? Does it feel good? As opposed to like the life that looks good.
Right, to other people. Exactly. And I would also, I say this from a place of, I'm so lucky with the job that I have that I also get to kind of be a bit more flexible with my time. So I say this with a pinch of salt. I don't know how to say this, but I would also wish that we would want to spend more time with our kids. I think I actually know it to be true that it's necessary for the kids that we spend, especially in their formative years. It's really important to them for their attachment styles. I mean, we are their world. So I think it is important for us to kind of carve out a specific amount of time for the kids.
And if you enjoy it, then that's good.
I
wanted to spend a bit of time in like the snapping back, because last season we had she's like a fitness guru, Winnie, and she was talking about, she was like lifting weights.
Winnie. Oh my gosh, she's insane. She's amazing.
And she talks about like coming back into a new body and getting to know that body and then getting to train that body. And I feel like this whole not only snapping back into your old life, but even into your old body. It's a bit unhealthy, that pressure of like, oh wow, you look so good and you just gave birth to, you know what I mean? I'm just like, she brought in life. Like, I feel like that's
shouldn't be
good enough. You know? And in fact, that's great. So what's your thought on that pressure, even just from your physical body?
Right. I mean, I definitely think it we have to deal with so many hormonal issues in the first place. So I think adding that pressure is not healthy in any way whatsoever. And I think, it really, it puts us in we're already in a low place and something out of our control. It's not something that we even know how to explain that what we're going through in the first place. So I think adding that extra pressure is really detrimental to our health. And I wish more moms were just able to like be, and the thing is, I know that there's a lot of pressure. So even like, as I'm saying this, it's because I've gone through it and come out on the other end. But initially I felt that pressure of like, God, I need to like now start working out again. I need to get back in the gym. I need to, and so with my first, I felt like I needed to do that and it was out of the pressure. But at least with my second and third, I was able to do it in a way that felt good for me, which was really healthy for me. So I didn't go back to the gym 6 weeks later because of pressure. It was just because I'm ready now and I feel great and this feels good to me and this is what I love doing. But I've had to relearn after each child that my body is just not the same. It is operating differently, and now we'll work back there. And I just try to give myself grace, and I hope that every mom would give themselves grace because it takes time. This thing of rushing is also like so detrimental on our body. We're breastfeeding, our body's literally gone through trauma. Some women have been torn apart. Like that people have gone through through it.
Yeah.
So I think, being able to look at a long-term plan, think strategically that way instead of like by 6 months, I need to, no, actually I have like 5 years. I have 5 years to get myself back to where I would like to be slowly, while I'm also making sure to take care of my mental health and my physical health and my emotional health and like all the other relationships. And there's so many things that we have to deal with. So just give ourselves grace. That's how it.
And like bringing life. I'm just like, you guys should not be paying taxes.
Like, can I tell you? In fact, we should be paid, right?
I'm like, this is not an easy journey.
And to be fair, I've had such an easy journey with giving birth.
Yeah.
Like the stories that I've heard, I'm like, I'm never doing it again. Because now I think I've played with fate enough.
Yeah, you're pushing your life.
Yeah, I'm pushing it now. I had one C-section, but even then, I feel like my recovery was so easy.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky. I don't take it for granted. I know women, like a lot of women die from giving birth. Yeah, which is a statistic I don't think we talk about enough.
Yeah.
So many problems through childbirth. Yeah.
And you also are pretty vocal on being a single mom. Like that's something that you talk a lot about.
Right.
And like, was there a moment where you kind of like acknowledged it as this is who I am, and there is no shame, and I'm not going to accept any judgment?
Right. I mean, I never felt shame around it. I mean, okay, let me say this. Initially, the shame I felt again came from social media. Oh my God.
My goodness.
Yeah, because like my whole relationship was online also.
Yeah.
So okay, we live and we learn. Okay. So it kind of felt like it was shame because of like, oh, now we were this couple, and now it's like there I am raising my kids alone. So that was embarrassing, but being a single mom is not embarrassing in any way. I never felt shame around it again until I put it online. And then people are like, oh, but, why didn't you try harder? Why didn't, those questions of like, but why, why did you give up? Oh, now you're encouraging moms to live a single life. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just living my life.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the best I can. And it is different being a single mom. It really, there are differences. And it's not that there's no competition.
Yeah.
Mothering is difficult, hard AF, even if you're doing it with a husband or whoever. But there is a difference being a single mom, like night times, kids are crying, and you're the only one to make sure to take care of all three. Meetings are happening, some child is being sick and you have to take them to hospital. There's no one else that you can rely on apart from yourself. I'm really lucky that I have, nannies and my dad and my mom. But I have to deal with these things on my own. And then, so there's a difference. And I feel like I'm really proud of myself for where I am. And like, I don't understand how people are getting shamed for being the one that stayed to take care of the kid. Like, why am I getting the brunt of your, message? Why aren't you messaging other people about this?
I 100% think, I know that society gets off from shaming women, which is why I always say just live your life. Because if you decided not to raise your kids, you would still be shamed. 1,000%. You know what I mean? Like,
meanwhile, the other, like the dad, if they were raising the kids, they'd be like, what a great dad. You're an amazing person. Like, I can't believe you, look at this dad. Wait, we're doing the same thing though.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I'm always just like, you might as well just live your life how you want to as a woman, because either way, there's going to be shame thrown your way.
Right.
And do you, in your interactions and your work with other mothers and building community, which we're going to get to, do you, how do you talk to other single moms who are trying to navigate the judgment and the shame? Because the shame comes from even, there's social media, but then there's also social...
The people around you. Thankfully, I've never had those people, You see, I didn't go through those environments where people you're not in my circle if you're judging me, But I hear you.
Because then there's church. I do know a friend of mine who's also a single mom, a single mom and divorcee. So even in the estate, when they organize like, oh, Saturday there's this happening at the clubhouse, she wouldn't be invited and her kids wouldn't be invited, right?
That's so shameful.
Like, it's actually there. So if there's like a single mothers who are watching this, like, what would you say to them in terms of navigating that shame and judgment?
Firstly, I just think, it tells a lot about the people that are doing that, because I feel like that is incredibly terrible behavior. This person is already doing everything alone. So I feel like we need more support than for you to shun us out of different communities. But for me, I think the one thing that I would do is just surround myself with people that are encouraging and like-minded. I think that to me has been one of the biggest supports in my life. And I will not engage with people who think differently. At this point in time, I just don't have the time or the patience. We are doing like the hardest job on earth. And I feel like, we just need to stick together. I think join my community, join Motherhood Unplugged. this is where we kind of always support each other, and I think that's
Yeah.
what's important to me, and that's what's been important to me at least in my journey.
Yeah.
And just blocking out the noise. I know it's easier said than done because, like you said, it's in your
Mm.
estate. That feels terrible to be in an estate and you're the only one not invited. Or if you go to church and everyone is talking about you as, you know, that feels terrible.
Yeah.
Again, me, I would leave that church. Let me tell you right now, you won't find me there.
Yeah.
Just surround yourself with people that encourage you. I think for me, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. I was raised by a single mom, at least from when I was in class 5, class 6. And one thing like I really give my mom credit for is like sitting us down with 3 girls and sit us down.
Props to your mom.
Yeah. you can
went through
relate.
it. Yeah. I know what she's going through.
Yeah. And she sat us down, and I still remember a conversation about her. Obviously, I was too young to fully wrap my head around it, but around her wanting us to know this is not what love looks like, and just we didn't. What's crazy now that I'm an adult is that life didn't change. Like we stayed in the same school, like the schedule continued. And I'm just like, how did you hack this?
Yeah.
You know, how did you do this? And I think now that I'm an adult, I appreciate it more.
Right.
Did you have conversations
with the kids?
With the kids, yeah.
Oh, you know, at the time they were 5, 3, and not born. So I think something like that. So I think at the time, I mean, what I could say was, you know, we're not together anymore, but just know, like, everyone loves you.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that my friend actually told me, because she went through a similar situation, was like every night talk through the people that love your kids. So like every night it would be like, oh, you know, granddad loves you, dada loves you, grandma, like just walk through everybody that loves you so that they felt, you know, they didn't feel less than or like so I think, that was important to me.
That's really good advice.
Yeah, I think that was really beautiful.
Yeah.
So even I would never speak badly about their dad as well. So, you know, we still have like pictures hanging on the fridge, things that I have to be confronted with like on a daily basis. In fact, I was going through my phone the other day because it's full and I wanted to delete stuff, and there are pictures with their dad, and I was like, delete? No, I can't because the kids want these. So, you know, like I'm just constantly thinking about them and their happiness and wellness. But where did I digress? What was your
No, like the conversations you had, but I think you like that tip of like going through every evening, like this person loves you, there's love from all of these quotas.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. And then also I have a very strong support system. So like my dad would always be around, my sister, my mom, like even their dad's grandparents would make a note of like, you know, being involved in their lives. So I think for the kids, I mean, they understood it. And even now we have conversations sometimes and it's just like, why can't you and Dada get back together? And, you know, I'm not ready to explain the ins and outs of that relationship. Nor do I ever want to put them in a position. It's not their place to know. You know, it's not, I don't want to have that conversation. So even the way I talk to them now, it's just, you know, we just don't love each other. And sometimes that happens, but that doesn't mean we don't love you. That's basically how I'm trying to phrase it.
There's still love for you.
Exactly.
Right?
That doesn't change anything about you guys. But just we are not compatible. That's where I leave it.
I just think that's such a wonderful tip on like, look at all the people who love you.
And I think whether you're married or not, like whether you're, you know, that's such a beautiful thing regardless.
Yeah.
You know,
and what do you feel like in terms of misconceptions? Like, what are the misconceptions people have when it comes to single mothers? The reason I ask this is that I find it so strange when every 7 to 10 business days, there'll be a conversation online where people are like, this is, I think recently there was an artist and I was just like, yep, never listening to your music ever again. And they were saying the violence that we're having in this part of Nairobi is purely because of single mothers. And I was like, okay, why aren't we phrasing that as it's because of absent fathers?
Like, can we? But also, actually, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I now that you've said that happens so many. Yeah, it's only because you can tell they were raised by a single mom. What do you mean
I'm
you can
just
tell?
like, what are you saying?
Talking about? Yeah.
Because without her, I would not have been raised.
Exactly. I'll be on the streets doing some rubbish. What are you talking? Yeah. No, I don't think that's accurate. I mean, I think everything about single mother. I don't actually. That is a big thing. I see that online a lot. No one has had the audacity to tell me that to my face yet. Yeah. So I haven't had to deal with somebody saying that. But I think just generally, I think generally the notion is you didn't try hard enough. That's the biggest misconception. Or like, you know, they'll shame you for staying, and then you're like, or they'll shame you for, getting out of a relationship, and it's like, but why did you take that for so long? Like the other day, somebody told me about, because I was talking about my journey. I had watched a video of me coming out of hospital with 2 kids. Like now, Nova wasn't even there, and I just even remember not being able to mourn like the phase of life I was in at that time, and things were rocky with my ex as well, and obviously then I had a third.
Yeah.
So somebody was like, don't give us this, I don't know, like a strong single mom when you were there having a third child. And I was like, you have no idea the reasons that people stay in a relationship.
And there's so much context you don't know. This is
so
not
much,
and it's
like
not
you
your
want to
business.
stay exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that is another one for me. Just like you had 3 kids, so it's your fault. That kind of thing. I'm like you said, there's so much context, so much hope. So much love.
Yeah.
You have kids already as well. You don't want to break up a family.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that would want you to society, like look at you breaking up now.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that at that time, and then suddenly you realize as a woman, okay, now I'm actually like I would like better for myself. And that's when you have to wait till you're ready. You can't do anything. It's like an addict, for example. Like they can't get help until they are willing to get the help.
Yeah. And I just feel like also like what's the point?
Yeah,
like
why?
When you start this, like why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Where are we going? This engagement you've
right?
started.
And then you said this and then?
Yeah, like
it doesn't take away from
Yeah. So I have to commend you for dealing with it with so much grace, but still showing up, because I feel like, yes, there are the people who are insane and want to throw shame, but there's also the mothers who have been liberated by seeing you post certain content, by seeing you being real, and they may not have the time or the words to say the thank yous, although I'm pretty sure you get quite a few of
really
those.
do, yeah.
Yeah, but you're liberating so many other mothers,
No,
so
I really
that
get,
matters.
yeah. It's actually what keeps me like doing what I'm doing. Because a lot of people will either DM or even in real life and just, thank you so much for sharing. And it really keeps me going, it's not for nothing.
Yeah. There's something that you're very passionate about, which is community, right?
Yeah.
And tell me about, on a personal level, why it was important for you to build a community for yourself in your personal life of mothers.
So I think you would not understand what it is like to be a mom until you are a mom. I think it's important to have specifically mom friends, because if you're not a mom, there's a lot you just basically won't be able to understand what I'm going through. So as much as I have the most amazing friend group, there are certain things that I wouldn't be able to call them for, because you just wouldn't understand to the depth that I would need you to understand. And that's, like my friend group are the people that have supported me through everything, would understand anything. Whatever I tell them, they'd be like, very supportive and encouraging, but there are just certain things that you just can't be able to talk about. And so, for example, like I was with 2 of my best friends last week, and in the car, somebody was talking about an episode they shot, because they have a podcast, and they were like, so somebody was talking about how now as the moms, we stop inviting you to things, because now we've invited you 5 times and then you don't come. And the mom's like, no, but please still invite me. And they're like, no, but why would I do that if you're not also putting in the effort to make these things? And I was trying to explain, like, even ourselves, like now that I've had my 3rd child, I might be able to articulate it better, that actually I'm really feeling low right now, or I'm really going through something, and I just don't have the capacity to do this right now, but maybe like in a few weeks, please, let's hang out, whatever it is. When I had my 1st child, I personally didn't even know what was going on with my body. Like the mood swings somebody goes through is just genuinely unexplainable. You're 1 minute you're like happy, the next minute you're just dying on the floor, the next minute you're going to, like, it's a roller coaster. So it's not that I'm saying I can't attend because I don't want to be there. Trust me, like it's even killing me that I can't be there. But there's so many factors that somebody wouldn't even understand. And it's hard. Like you're also in a new phase of life. Like the conversations we'll be having at this event or whatever is just, I don't even want to be talking about like, how was your day last week? I have not even slept. And I've even started to feel that way. That's another thing that I've tried to explain. Like the period where I was not sleeping, I don't know how I went through life, because I literally spent almost 9 years not sleeping. And so for the last year I've been sleeping. I'm less irritable, I'm less emotional, I remember things, I'm not foggy, I can actually do things. And now if I don't get 1 good night's sleep, the next day I'm like, oh God, like I'm not feeling it today. I'm really like, I can't do things. That was 9 years of my life that I did not sleep, and I'm genuinely talking about waking up in the middle of the night 3 times to breastfeed and going to hospital runs, and like that's crazy. Like I'm not sleeping. So you can imagine my brain, where you are as a mom, we're not in the same space at the moment. So I think there are just things that's one example, but just generally maybe I went through postpartum rage, and I think I've only started to speak about it now because it's like a very shameful part of my life.
Yeah.
And so even something like that, how do you even explain? Sorry, I'm crying.
Oh.
Sorry, no, it was such a. I told you today I'm emotional, but I went through a part of my life where I was just like so angry with my kids, with two of my kids. Like I was angry at them all the time, and like I thought I didn't want to be. But how do you explain? How do I even sit to you and like you have never been through that?
Yeah.
So how do we even talk about it? I'm sure you would be like, oh, Tats, I'm really sorry. Like, don't worry about it. But then what? You know?
And I'm not understood it.
Yeah, I need to be talking to somebody who's like, man, me too.
Yes.
You know, me too.
I've
been
there,
through it. Yeah,
this happened.
this is how I dealt with it, and like this is how you can overcome it. Like we just are not the same anymore, and like, it's not bad. But I'll come back.
Yeah,
I'll come. Give me 5 years. I'll be back. Yeah,
and even something like that, you're already feeling guilt.
Yeah,
like the feeling is there, but you're also guilty for feeling
that.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to talk about it in the first place. Like it took me so long.
Yeah.
But I can only open up about it with somebody who's felt it. Like I don't want to talk to you about it because like you have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's a fear like this person is also going to judge me.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And like you can't even explain it for yourself. You can't even. I just don't even know what I was feeling.
Yeah.
I just know like I was so angry all the time, and like so things like that. Like so that's why I think it's like super important to have mom friends because you can really connect on ways that somebody else would never be able to connect with you.
That's so true. Like when someone close to me in my life gave birth, and it was the first as the last one. This was the first child I'd ever had close contact with. Yeah. And the first time I saw someone like go through the paces of pregnancy and giving birth and everything that comes with that, and obviously anxiety is a big thing, right? Yeah. And I remember just trying to think, what's the best advice I can give? Because as much as I can tell you, okay, maybe your diet, but there's no time, right? You're not even sleeping.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to be like, okay, maybe your diet can change.
Yeah. I was like, your diet, what do you mean?
Yeah. I slept for 2 hours. Yeah. Like, so I get it. And I think for the longest time amongst women, mothers, friend groups where one lady became a mom, it was almost seen as like the distance is intentional and there's a negative connotation to it, but you're just adjusting to you're barely.
I'm not even surviving. You know what I mean? Like my head is just above water to breathe. And I think even like as you said that, I think before moms would generally people would have kids at generally the same time. Whereas now I think maybe we're also waiting a bit later, and and I think also I was a bit early. Yeah. So even in that respect, like I didn't have that village of like we weren't all having kids together. Yeah. And whereas before it would be like that would be the case. Yeah. So like even then I think that it wasn't such a huge shift like it is now, if that makes sense. Yeah,
and then at least all of you would be going through the thing together, or
so like
similar.
My mom would be like, we'd all be sharing clothes with each other and like passing on things because I've just given birth and like 6 months later somebody else has given birth. So you're able to kind of you're all in the same boat. Yeah. So even like now events and things like that become easier because you're kind of like you all know what to expect. I think also as a mom you might cancel something really last minute. A mom would understand because they've also been through like getting out the house is so difficult, getting your kids to put on the shoes. At some point of this journey of getting ready to the car, you might even just give up on life,
or
like
someone is sick.
There's so many things. So moms would understand that cancellation. I think friends would be like, now this is a bit last minute, as much as they're trying to be understanding. So there are things like that. Yeah.
And I actually learned I have two close friends who are moms. Right. And I started learning like, okay, when they come for something, at first I ask them in advance, like, what days are better? Right. Like, the rest of us can move things around. So our Saturday is better than Fridays, or like, is Sunday better? Like, please tell me so that we keep that in mind. But also just knowing like they will leave early, or can we meet at a child-friendly place so that if you want me to come, there needs to be somewhere for my kids to, get tired, And so just kind of understanding even those things that seem small. Right. Yeah. It really matters.
It matters so much. So like I'm saying that even my friends, I've always made it a note to like being very inclusive with my kids, which I know is not always the case because you don't always want to hang out with kids. Yeah. In fact, that's even the discussion I was having with my friends last year. What if we don't even want to hang out with your kids?
You want
it's not even it's not even a bad way. Like now them as a friend, they're like, what if we don't even want to hang out with your kids? Which valid. Yeah. But at the moment, at some phases of my life, I can't go anywhere without them. So yeah, anyway.
So
there's
did
so
your
many things.
friendships then evolve? Like, how did they find the rhythm?
Right. I
Yeah.
think the friends that I have are such amazing friends that they really supported me through a lot.
Yeah.
So we might not have seen each other all the time, but even
Yeah.
when we did, they would always make room for kids are going to be around, etc., etc. So that was great. But definitely other friendships that I had, like I let go of so many friendships. And I think like now what I'm seeing these videos of just learn to categorize your friendships. I think maybe that's where, I have friends of just like, I'll see you when we're out.
Yeah.
And if I'm ever out, I'll see you at the club and that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But you're not a friend that I'm going to be asking for dinner every week, if that makes sense. So I think I've just learned to categorize my friends. I felt at the time that I lost a lot of friendships.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were real friendships to begin with.
Yeah.
The real ones are the ones who have really stuck till now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean not that they're not friends, they're just not like
in a circle.
Deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of community, like we have to talk about like any help you get. So let's say nannies, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's also a difficult, first it's a privilege.
Yeah.
But it's also a difficult rhythm to get a hold of because you don't want to completely have the nanny doing the parenting.
Exactly.
But also there's life and there's capitalism and there's like
Right.
bills need to be paid. So like
Exactly,
how did you find like a good tempo?
Right. So I'm really lucky that actually I think I've had nanny like 3 sets of nannies. So like initially when Olive was there, then I let her go after like for some reason. Then I've always had a good relationship with nannies. Let me say that. And the ones that I have now have it's almost been 4 years now.
Oh wow.
So it's been really I really love them with all my heart. They're family, you know. And I think there have been points where I'm like, you know what, I didn't do bath time today because I was lazy, not because I couldn't do it. And those are things that play in my mind because I also could take them to a cafe or take them out and then have the nanny playing with them, but I'm just sitting there. Like that's not one-on-one time. My oldest will actually bring that to me.
I love
that. Yeah, and that's something that really puts me in my place. And it makes me feel bad because I feel guilty about it. So they'll be like, can you please not go with so-and-so today? Because I just want mommy time. And when they're not around, I'm very active, you know? So it's not like I can't do it. But there have been phases where I have maybe been a bit lazy. And I'm not talking about times where you're generally exhausted, where you're generally tapped out. Because that happens a lot as a mom, as a working parent, whatever it is. So I know that it's necessary. And we're so lucky to be able to have nannies to alleviate some of the stress for us. But there are moments where I could be doing it, but I'm just like, oh, let me go scroll. You see, now that I feel really guilty about. And I think there are a lot of times where I need to, just the same way you put your best foot forward for like this interview. I'm not going to come here in like a terrible mood and just like sit here and not answer your questions. Or it's the same way I have to go home and put my best foot forward. And like that's the time that I have with my kids after school. There's literally 3 hours before bedtime. Fake it till you make it. And then even when they pass out, okay. Now I can like just damn, today was hard. But I think we tend to also like carry, because they're our safe space, so we tend to carry like the frustrations of the day home and then just allow the nannies to deal with it because we're not going to put in the effort because we're angry. Again, bearing in mind, there are really days where we need to be able to take time away. We need to have our me time. We need them to know that mama needs to be alone today, and that's okay. So I'm not saying that when you actually need the time, don't do it. I'm just saying, let's think about some of the times that we could be doing it and maybe not. That's just been something that I've been reflective about on my parenting journey. And so I'm just trying my best to be as present as I possibly can while I can.
What I wanted to say is like, how do you extend grace to yourself when in the routine you can't show up as you normally would? Because also just on an individual woman level, you wouldn't show up every week.
Right, exactly.
As you did. So this week could be different from last week. That's just internally, right? Hormonally, all those things. And then there's a context of life, and life can life this week, and then next week is a breeze. You know what I mean? And so how do you not start shitting on yourself like I'm not a good mom or whatever? How do you extend grace to yourself?
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie, because there's so much regret. It's like I guess mom guilt, you know. There's so much. Every time they go to sleep, what could I have done better today? Every day. So it becomes really difficult when you're constantly picking every moment of the day that you feel like you could have done better. And I think for me, one of the biggest things is apologizing to my kids when I've done wrong. I think that's something, look, I'm really sorry. Yesterday I shouldn't have done this. There's always room for apologizing, you know? So even in the moment, if they went to bed already and you're like, oh man, today was really terrible. I feel terrible. Don't let that pass. Wake them up the next morning, apologize for what you did wrong. Let them know, you know, mama was having a really bad day. But I shouldn't have taken that out on you, you know? And then, the times where I am also not feeling my best, let it not get to that point where I have to regret a situation. So before that, you guys better leave me alone because I need 20 minutes. I need 20 minutes and then I can recalibrate and come back out to you guys. So sometimes they will do that and sometimes they won't. And then I get frustrated because I'm like, you guys are not even giving me the time. If you don't give me this time, I'm going to get more and more angry. And I need you guys to give me the space. So I think even having those conversations and being open about, look, today I'm not okay. And I just, at the same time, while not also putting your emotions on them or not making them feel like they need to make you be okay. Because I've noticed like sometimes my daughter will be like, let me go draw her something so she's happy. And I'm like, no, this is not about you. And I don't want you I don't want to make you feel that you have to make me happy. I'm just not having a good day and I need some time. So I think having those conversations have been really important and like making things a little bit more manageable. But there's not a day that goes by, I can guarantee you for any mom, that you're not regretting something that you've done or something you said or something you could have done better or maybe I should have done this for breakfast or whatever it is.
And can I just say, I have no experience being a mom, but all the experience being a kid.
And, I love that.
I see Olive and like how confident and she speaks her mind like from what you post online. And I'm just like, there's definitely something working that you're doing that is working.
So I really hate this, but I've started doing it like uncontrollably. It's so frustrating. Thank you.
Just clock it.
So I really hate this about myself. Okay.
Something is working. Okay, in your formula, right? And so when you think about parenting, is there something? I love that you talked about apologizing to your kids because. In our generation, I don't think very many of us can say that we've ever received an apology from our parents. So are there things that you're intentionally doing differently in how you mother and raise your children?
I think, I was like, so my mom and I had like a really strenuous relationship growing up. And I think she also had one with her mom, so it's you when you get older, you're able to like look back and understand certain things. But at the time, like it was really difficult for me. And she was like very strict, let me say. I don't know how to describe it, but like very strict, like shouting a lot. And now she's apologized, and like we've had these conversations and we're so close. And like I really appreciate, how she was raised and where she came from. And also, having depression and things like that, it's not easy. And I've gone through it myself. So I also understand how you're navigating life, you're trying to work a job, you have 2 kids, you're going through depression, and then you're supposed to actually raise these kids and like be in a good mood all the time. It's impossible. It's really impossible. So like there's so many things we've talked through. But for me, like I've really tried the apologizing. I've also no hitting, but I have hit my kids. I've said this before, like I have, and I regret it every single time because I truly do not believe that is what we should be doing with our kids. I'll just say that. So that's something I've really tried to do. This whole thing, like in the Kenyan context, how we have to hug each other, kiss each other. You have to by force. So they have to be respectful. They have to say hi. No one has to touch. If they don't want to be touched, then and it doesn't matter who you are in their life. Don't let anybody ever tell, like even if you're a family member or you're older, actually respect your elders. That's fine, but you also have to respect their boundaries. So that's something that I think I'm doing a little bit differently. I think even the fact that the way in which they speak, for example, like we were at the salon the other day and we had been waiting for so long and Marley finally got onto the thing, and then I think because there was an adult waiting, they were like, okay, can you come off for this lady? And she's like, but I've been waiting, I've actually been waiting here for so long. And I think other parents would probably be like, oh, that's rude. And I was like, actually no, like she's been sitting here for 45 minutes. It's her turn. She's not going to get off because you're an adult. Like we've been waiting here just the same, So I think for me, like maybe those are a few things that I'm doing a little bit differently. Mind you, that doesn't mean lack of respect. It just means like hold your boundaries. Like speak up for yourself.
You can advocate for your own rights. Like, and any adult would have done the same. Would have responded the same. Like,
I would have been like, no way. I've been here for 45 minutes. Why do I have to?
Exactly.
So I was really proud of her. At the same time, I was like, well, she said what she said. I don't know what to tell you.
Now conversation between you two.
Exactly. I'll leave it to you guys. So,
I love the intentionality. And even as you say, like, I just always wanted kids and like, I didn't have the game plan and I just got in. There is a game plan now. I can
I think every day is still like, I'm still discovering. I still don't know what I'm doing. And every age is different.
Oh, yes.
So you feel like you've got something unlocked and then suddenly you're like, damn.
That's starting from
that was last year's plan. And then every age is different for every child. So like I am constant every day. I'm just like,
We learn
just
as
roll
we
with
go.
the punches. I can't breathe sometimes. I'm just like,
So in terms of like the intentionality in making the decision to have kids,
right.
I love that now we're in an age where, like, even you and I are having this conversation. I don't think our moms and our grandmothers could say, like, there was this openness
Right.
about motherhood and what it takes, right?
Mm.
It was made to be very automatic.
Mm.
And it's just something that you do.
Right.
So for somebody who is, the women who are watching, what are some things that they should intentionally think about before making the decision to have kids?
Everything.
She's just like, oh, the above.
Literally
plus there.
everything.
Yeah.
Like, get the mum books, take
Yeah.
notes, and learn. Like, no, I'm joking. But I firstly, I also think like our parents had, again, going back to villages. I think
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you know like raising kids with when you know that they're at somebody's so and so's house while they're being looked after while you're able to do. I think that was really helpful.
Yeah.
So I think even in that context, there must have been some sort of like ease to. I'm not saying it was easy. I think there must have been some sort of ease because you kind of have people to rely on.
Yeah.
Your kids are okay there with Shosho.
Yeah.
Your kids are okay there at some so and so's house. Or they're all like, even in my dad's time, he talks about how he would ride out at night like his bike, and then you have to come back when the street lights are on. You know, things like that where it was so much safer. Like now I can't send my kids on a bike on the streets.
Yeah.
You know, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So I think there was a little bit more of an ease at that time, which is why it might have felt. I would like to think it might have felt easier then.
Yeah.
But in terms of learning about, I think, firstly, learn your partner in and out. I think have all those conversations, all the hard conversations, and I'm talking about. Do you think hitting is okay? Do you think like the kid would allow kids to eat sugar by one? Like every conversation around a child's life, have those conversations because it will be something that's in the way. And you don't want to have that like friction, and it's not something that you want to argue about all the time. You know, how you want to raise your kids, what schools do you want them to go to, like what is your budgeting, like all those conversations should be had with your partner beforehand, and then that's how you now just like realize, okay, this will be we should have children together. Number one, and then I think in terms of like brain development, I think that's really an important one because a lot of what I'm seeing why parents get angry is more like, oh, they're 2-year-old and they're throwing a tantrum and they're just manipulating us. Actually, learn how a child's brain works. They don't know how to even talk to you about it. This is how a child actually operates. And learning about brain development makes parenting a lot easier because you understand what they go through at certain phases of their life. There's even like the age of rudeness, for example. And that's something, yeah, there is. And I learned this from somebody else and I was going through it at that time and I was like, oh, it makes so much. And it's so also comforting to know that other people are going through it, and also like a lot less pressure on you to try and like get your kid in line, or you know. I also think so I think brain development is a really huge thing, and if you can learn more about how a child develops, it will be a lot better for your parenting journey. But genuinely, like I said, just learn there's so many things about parenting that I think we don't talk about. Giving birth, what are your strategies? How do you want to do this? Know what is available to you.
That's a good one. And there was this trend, I don't know if it's still ongoing, of mothers in Kenya sharing, you know, what it costs them to give birth and in which hospital. And some of the costs, you're just like, hey, I'd never actually thought about that one.
Gloves. All the gloves you're using. I'm like, surely I can't. As a hospital, this should be something that you just have like available. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember my first bill was like 300 and something K, and my mom got like almost 200K removed from that bill because she was like, I didn't see him doing this.
Wow.
But yeah, I think they just add things, you know. But yeah, cost of giving birth, cost of C-section, cost of like the doctor's visits, and then after that, school fees. How are you going to be feeding your kids? You know, like that's also a huge conversation. Look at school fees because school fees are insane, are really insane. So if there's a certain way you want to raise your kids, make sure to have look at all those school fees and you know, it's everything. It's everything. I'm telling you, I wish somebody had a crash course. I wish somebody actually had like a program of let's go through these topics. Because like even now, what you're asking, it's like it's so vast. What am I picking? Like
you're like, and then how to look for the right nanny. And
exactly.
You know.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of things. How long are you going to spend with your kids? Like, are you going back to work? Is your partner helping? I don't even know. Like everything. And
tell me more about Motherhood Unplugged. right? Because maybe you're the one who's going to make this course.
But you know what? Actually,
hey,
that could be a thing. Yeah. But Motherhood Unplugged. So it started like the conversation we were having earlier about people in your circle, like your support system. So while I had an amazing family, amazing friends, there was no one that I was really going through that journey with, alongside with, and I think it's just one of the most lonely kind of journeys you can go on, again, because you just don't even know, and you also don't want to burden people. Like that's the thing that's like, so I think it started because I had such a lonely time with it. And I've been talking about my motherhood journey now for almost 9 years. Yeah. And the one thing that I get from my page is, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing that. I didn't realize that I was the only one. I thought I was the only one going through this. Or thank you so much for sharing that. Now I've got some advice on how I can deal with this. Or you're really encouraging me. And I just realized that so many other moms were going through similar things that I was, but just didn't feel like they had a community to share that with, or people to talk through those situations. And so that's how Motherhood Unplugged came about, because I really wanted this community where we can just feel seen and heard. And I think I mentioned to you at our first event, actually, one mom said something and like everybody else was crying with her story, because everyone could feel it. Whether or not you've been through it specifically, we can all feel that like pain or the hurt or the encouragement. So, and that happens every time we have one of these events. So we never have enough time, because moms just keep wanting to talk and like share and give advice and share encouragement. So you can see that they don't have the space to do this outside of that. So that's how it really started, and that's what encourages me to keep it going. And
so it's open to any mom, anywhere can join. Any mom, anywhere.
Yeah. I think the pricing, even I've always wanted to decrease the pricing, because I want everyone to be able to attend. But unfortunately, meals and all these things that we're doing. Meals and everything, it makes it like 6K, which is also not exorbitant, but I would want it to be open for everyone. And that's why I also wanted to start the podcast on Motherhood Unplugged and share encouragement on the page, just for those moms who might not be able to attend the seminar and the events that we do. So at least there's also something else that they can look at that's a value add or encouraging and helpful.
This is so commendable.
Thank you so much. I just love being a mom.
And I always say, no one organizes like women.
Facts.
And just seeing you organizing this community, it's like, okay, I'm not too sure what I'm doing, but let's come together, guys. Let's just hold each other's hands as we walk this journey.
Amen.
And we'll figure it out as we go. And I think that's pretty powerful. So take your flowers.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And so as we wind up, what is your mannerless message to the women who are watching you today?
Leave him. The people I'm talking to know I'm talking to them. Yeah.
I love that.
That's what I gotta say.
Don't waste time.
Don't waste time. I wasted so many years. No, actually, I love my kids to death, and I would do it again 1,000 times over. Yeah. But you know who you are. Yeah.
Yes. You know how we normally write, I don't know who this message. No, we know who this message is.
We know. Yeah. You know yourselves.
Yeah. I genuinely, I never do this on any episode, but it's just also an awakening that I'm going through. As a woman, you will not realize your fullest potential if you remain in a relationship, because that's somebody who's the closest to you.
Right.
That in a relationship that is draining you, in a relationship that's forcing you to shrink.
Right.
You have to be committed to your higher self, which includes leaving him.
Exactly. So and peace over everything, I can't actually explain how I can never let somebody ruin my peace again. Yeah. If you're not here to add to that peace, I can't. We're not going anywhere.
And now you learned the lesson. So never look, even for me, I'm always never look back and be like, why didn't I learn this in year number 1?
Exactly.
You've learned it.
We've learned it now. We moved. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
You're such a delight.
This is good for my soul. So thank you.
And for me too. And I think that it's just so incredible how you're so giving from your journey, and you're pouring into other people, and that's really powerful of you to do. So yeah.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did. First and foremost, before I tell you who you can share it with, I do want to thank our partners, Polished Homes, who have helped us I brought some of my babies to set, but they wouldn't be complete with some of the pieces from Polished Homes. They have incredible pieces that you can add in your home
from the lamps to the headboards to the vases to just from all over Africa as well, from Ghana, Malawi, Kenya. We're going to link their page in the description so that you can check them out. But I was saying, if you enjoyed this episode, share it with all the mannerless or almost mannerless women in your life, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next episode.